again, and welcome to the fourth event of the Jarmuż Clan Tournament bracket. This is our second match for today, and we'll be watching Void vs MLEM. I'm your host, KubixGD. I'm here with my co-host, Lemniks, who's going to explain a little bit about this match.
So to start off, we have a qualifying percent, which was decided on by the players, and that percent will be the percent where players need to reach to start gaining points. For example, the qual is set at 25%, and a player has to reach 25% to start gaining points for their team. The points move up along with the percentage, meaning if a player gets 30, then they're going to get 30 points. On top of this, we also have bonus multipliers that multiply the player's points if they can reach them. Generally, the first qual is around 25% of the level's difficulty, and the next would be at about 50%, 75, and then 100. Specifically at 100, there's a 2.5 times multiplier, meaning that if you can reach that, you can get 250 points in a single attempt.
The team that ends the round with the most points will earn a clan score. Every match will consist of 3 rounds, meaning this is going to be a best of 3. And with all that being said, I think we're ready to move to our main overlay here and introduce the players. So for Void, we have Magmeta and Mobilebot. For MLEM, we have ItzRomuld and StarXV. So it is worth mentioning, Magmeta did unfortunately have to pre-record this due to several things. Magmeta had work. There was also a bit of a problem with the scheduling. So ultimately the best way to do this was to pre-record, and don't worry, we did watch, and we also had the mod attached to Magmeta while they did this to make sure everything was done legitimately. The footage has been checked, all of that, so yeah, everything is fine with that. So we will not be interviewing Magmeta, but I can interview Mobilebot and ask how they're feeling about today's match and just Sysmique Locked in general.
I'm tired. This level's
You're tired?
funky. Yeah, I spent like 8k to beat this the first time, and then I think I've spent like 500 since then because it's easy.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, it's a very learning level. I have actually beaten this level. It's something to beat, but it does get consistent once you get it down. So I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully you do well. And we'll move over to MLEM here. ItzRomuld, how are you feeling about Sysmique Locked and just the event in general?
This level is good.
Well, one second, let me turn you up in Discord because you're actually very quiet for me.
Oh, okay. I mean, this level is very learning, but once you learn it, it's like really fun and consistent. And yeah, I mean, it's a good level. Just, I mean, I don't know. It's just good.
Okay, yeah, no, it is actually quite fun, and I think most people would be surprised by that. Moving on to StarXV, how are you feeling about the event today, and how are you feeling about your practice?
I think I'm really excited to play exactly this level on this event because, I mean, my first day playing this level was a tragedy. I literally thought this is the worst Extreme Demon I've ever played. Practicing this level is tragedy. But as the time goes on, it gets consistent. So I think
I 100% agree.
Oh well.
Yeah. Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck. If all players can go to the level menu screen,
I need this
we'll
for the
let
stats.
Mobilebot finish this attempt. Alright. If everyone can refresh the level, just hitting the update button below the red X. Oh, and Magmeta would have done it. It's just this is pre-recorded. That's right. Okay, we are going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go. And the 15-minute timer starts. Sysmique Locked is a level I never thought I would ever be seeing get played in any tournament. So seeing it here in the GDCT is honestly really exciting. I beat this level probably quite a long time ago at this point. It was between like a year to 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. I don't know. I've lost track of time with that, but I absolutely love this level. I think it's really funny. I think it's really interesting. Yeah, so just seeing it actually get played, it's awesome. We do have some player information that we should probably get over because this is a 15-minute match. We do want to make sure we fit everything in. If you're able to pull that up, I would appreciate it.
Yep. Okay, so starting with Magmeta, hardest of Saul Goodman, which she beat actually fairly recently. Other notable completions, the Yangare and Swai, and she's currently top 400 on Pointer Crate. Very impressive player all around.
Oh yeah, for sure.
One of the highest extreme counts in the game as well.
Over 500 extreme demons.
Yep. Moving on to Mobilebot, the other player for Void. Hardest of Limbo also has beaten Walter White and Ordinary. Around number 550 on Pointer Crate. Currently working on... Ooh, sorry?
Never mind. I just wanted to make sure the points were definitely being tracked, but I think... I don't
They
think...
are,
No,
yes.
they are. Okay. We're good.
Mobot is currently working on beating the Plunge, and they wanted to say that they are very good at bad levels.
Very good at bad levels. Well...
Whatever that means.
Well, I think I understand what it means. Do you consider this a bad level? It's in that category
I don't know.
for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so that is our information about the Void players. Both very good players here. Right now, as it stands, we see Void currently in the lead with 281 points, MLEM with 87 points, so a 194 point gap at the moment, but we do see Stasu in the qualifying range, so it'll be their first qualifying attempt of the day. We also see Magmeta currently at 59% and also Mobilebot at 57%, so good attempts for both Void players at the moment. Ooh, and a death from Magmeta.
Mobilebot's still going, approaching that 2 times multiplier, and they reach it.
Ooh,
And a
unfortunate
death right
death,
after.
but they do get that 2 times multiplier. That is good points on the board. Already opening up the gap to 405 points between them with Void in the lead. However, ItzRomuld currently in the qualifying range getting 59%. We also see Magmeta back into the qualifying range right now as well. Actually on the way to the 1.5 times multiplier. We also see Mobilebot into the qualifying range. So both players on Void getting more points for their team, opening up the gap even further. Ooh, and a death from Mobilebot. That does open the gap up to 320 points, but Magmeta is still going. Currently, it does seem like the MLEM players are having a bit of a struggle getting into the qualifying range, but they are getting points. It looks like Mobilebot.
Yeah, they're definitely
death from Magmeta.
not too far behind. I mean, it's about 2 completions, but that's definitely possible to make up with the amount of time they have left.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially when you consider 2 players playing as well.
Yeah. I'd like to talk a bit about the MLEM players, actually, starting with ItzRomuld. Current hardest is Lucid Nightmares, and they've beaten other levels such as Chromatic Haze and Confusion, which definitely, again, some relatively older levels, not Confusion as much, but Chromatic Haze and Lucid Nightmares. I feel like you don't see, especially Lucid Nightmares, being completed as much now today. I would like to pay attention to Mobilebot, though, as they are...
Oh yeah, in the 70s at the moment.
70%.
You'd be getting to that 2 times multiplier, and they get there. Magmeta also on a pretty good attempt here. Ooh, death from Mobilebot though.
It's rough. Back to the MLEM players. Secondly, we have Sasiu, whose hardest is Knights of Thunder, and they've also beaten Aquatic Auroras and Timor.
Very impressive. Alright, currently we see Stasio on a good run actually. Currently going, dying right before the second half at 49%, but that is in the 1.5 times multiplier range, so this is good points on the board for them. Currently, as it stands, we see Void with 936 points, Lem with 458 points, and 9 minutes 30 seconds on the timer. So it there's definitely enough time to, you know, for Lem to steal it back here, but we'll see what happens. It is also worth noting that Void is actually the highest seeded, or I guess highest ranked clan in the tournament. I should say highest ranked team, because they're not actually the highest ranked clan. That would be comp, but as a team, they're the highest ranked team.
Yeah. So, yeah, Team Lem here is definitely fighting a bit of a uphill battle when it comes to that.
For
They didn't
sure.
get very lucky with the team drawing, or not the team drawing, the match drawing.
I do see ItzRomuld currently in the 60s, actually, a very good attempt. See Magmeta in the 50s as well.
I believe this is Romulud's best attempt.
Oh yeah,
of the
definitely. I
round.
actually have the golden new best
Oh, yeah.
text.
They are at that 2x multiplier.
Ooh, 81%.
That's at
In fact, I don't
81.
think we've had a completion in this match quite yet. There's
We
still
have
time.
not. That is true. That is true.
To be honest, though, this definitely feels like, while it gets consistent, getting, like, consistent completions on this is, like... Yeah, I mean, this is actually... It is also worth mentioning. We normally do this in order of easiest to hardest, but just due to some of the scheduling for the players, this is the hardest level, and it is being played first. So this is the hardest level of the day. Just thought I'd put that out there. We see Mobilebot currently in the 40s, looking like they're going to get into the second half here, and also making it into the 1.5 times multiplier. ItzRomuld also in the qualifying range, and Stasu in there as well, just about into the first multiplier. Yeah, both screens on the bottom here on very good attempts.
Definitely. I do believe this is Sassy's best attempt as well. Ooh, and they die. Unfortunately, it was a death at 63. Mobilebot's still
going for that
going.
completion, though. In fact, looking very possible at this point, I would say. I think they're going to get it. And there we go. First completion of the match today. That is 250 points to Void, opening up the gap to 708 points. It is looking pretty rough for Lem. Is it possible for them to steal it? Maybe. Magmeta also currently in the 60s, so it's pretty hard to say, to be honest. I think they would need to rely on both players basically getting stuck at the beginning, and they would need to lock in.
Yeah, they're going to need to get some completions here if they want to make a comeback at this point, because now it is over. Void is over 3 completions ahead of MLEM. Not only that, but Mobilebot is on a qualifying attempt right now.
I was actually about to get to the first multiplier as well. Yep, they make it. We have 5 minutes, 37
Magmeta
seconds
also
left
in
on
the
timer.
qualifying.
Ooh, early death in the qualifying for Magmeta, but it is points.
Mobilebot on another attempt
Oh, yeah.
in the 2 times multiplier.
This could be very good for Void. This pretty much could secure their win in the first round. Ooh. That looked like a fun death right there.
That was at 87. Unfortunate. Mobilebot has had a few deaths in the 80s. 85, 86, 80, and 87.
Yeah, I do remember there being some choke points in that section. We see Stasu on a really good run here at 62% right now. And also ItzRomuld into the qualifying. Magmeta also in the 60s. If Stasu can get a completion here, that would be a completion on the board from Lem. It's looking very possible. I think this is going to be a completion. And there we go. MLEM getting their first completion on the board. Means both teams have had one completion. Very impressive.
Definitely needed.
Mobilebot also getting back to the 80s. Can they pass it this time? We just discussed
Could
their
cancel
struggle
out.
with this section.
Yep. This could cancel out that completion from Stasio.
They are into the 90s. And I'm pretty confident in saying this is going to be a completion here. There we go. That is another 250 points for Void. Is it possible for them to open the gap up so it's 1,000 points by the end of the match?
Maybe, maybe.
As it stands, everyone's kind of at the beginning of the level right now. It's interesting. This level is honestly, I would consider it very, I would say it's pretty unknown, right? Like, I feel like this level would be more
compared to some
known,
of Jakers' other levels, definitely. But you can tell it's a Jakers level just by looking at it.
Definitely. This is a level of all time. So as it stands, Mobilebot is at 58%. We see Stasu at 40%. And Magmeta also in the late 50s here. So we got a lot of good attempts going on.
This could secure Void here a lead of over 1,000 points, depending on how these attempts go.
Mobilebot back into the dreaded 80s.
And that is another death for Magmeta right before the 2x multiplier.
That's very unfortunate. But we do see Mobilebot getting what looks to be another completion. That's Mobilebot's third completion, I believe. Yeah, third completion of the round here.
Not only that, but that was back-to-back.
Back-to-back completions on Sysmique Locked. Something I never thought I would see.
Yeah.
Oh, and also Stasio going in for another completion here as well.
Second completion from Lem.
It seems like every time Mobilebot beats it, Stasio's not far behind. And that's... it's kind of reoccurring. Okay, I guess one of the times it didn't happen, but... we only have just over a minute on the timer remaining. So it's looking at this point, it's fair to say Void's going to be getting the first clan score. As MLEM would need to... they would need to get 1,078 points in the next 46 seconds. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Very much not possible at this point. Mobilebot is on another... ooh, spoke too soon.
We got 30 seconds remaining. Stasu on another good run here. We got 10 seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and everybody is officially on their final attempts. Oh, and Magmeta dies.
That is it for Magmeta.
Everybody else actually on pretty good attempts here. Everybody at least in the second half.
I have a feeling we're going to see possibly 2, maybe 3 completions here. Ooh, and that is it for Romulod.
Yeah, Romulod is done. They can stop playing.
Sasiu approaching the very end of the level.
Oh, and Mobilebot.
And that is it for Mobilebot.
It looks like Stasu is going to end it off with a completion. Very, very good way to end it here. And that brings us to the end of our first round. to announce the standings. Void with 2,902 points, MLEM with 1,942 points. Congratulations to Void. We're actually going to interview these players and see how they're feeling. So, not Magmeta, because Magmeta had to pre-record for this one, but Mobilebot, how are you feeling about your performance?
It was enough. I could have done more, but it was enough, so that's fine.
It was more than enough. You did great.
I was a little tired.
Completely fair. Okay, moving on to MLEM. ItzRomuld, how are you feeling about your performance?
I mean, it's decent, I guess. I don't really know, you know.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, it was a good performance. You got 819 points.
Yeah, it's okay. I think it's okay.
Awesome. Okay, moving over to Stasu. How are you feeling about your performance there?
To be honest, I'm really happy because the first few minutes, just the stress literally ate me for breakfast. But I'm really happy that I managed to complete this level 3 times. I am really happy.
Oh yeah,
My
for
stress
sure.
is-
Very impressive.
I'm happy.
Awesome. Okay, well that brings us to the end of the first round. We're
Oh, I
gonna
got
go
a
to
clip.
a
Sorry,
5-minute.
I might have missed the first part of my raw footage. I forgot to clip.
That's all right.
That's fine. You're fine. Okay, that brings us to the end of the first round. We're going to go on a 5-minute break screen. When we're back, we're going to go into Draco Meteor. So, we will be back. And we are back. Moving back over to the stream overlay here, we have our players for Draco Meteor. So, we have representing Void, we have Patrick and Bonnie. Representing MLEM, we have GD Red and I believe it's Jarmuż? Jarmuż? I might be pronouncing that wrong. I'm unsure. But for now, interviewing these players. So, Patrick, how are you feeling about Draco Meteor? How are you feeling about the event?
So actually, initially, when this was the level that was pulled, I was like really just. I had beaten this a while ago. This was one of the levels I beat for the when I got the world record for the most extremes in a month a few years ago, and I didn't have very fun with that level. I was also on a mouse, so my hardest was Artifice, which is about a little bit harder than Bloodbath. So nowadays, not nearly as bad as I remember it being.
Awesome, and of course you are the current owner of the GD World Tournament, so it's going to be a bit interesting being on the opposite end here, where now you're actually playing
participating.
In the event. Also, let me just quickly mute these screenshots. I always forget to do that.
Must have been for you too when you first like played for like Scotland and all like back in the day, right? Like it kind of felt weird.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Anyway, best of luck. And we'll move on to Bonnie, see how Bonnie's feeling.
When I first heard what the level was, because I had never heard of this level before, I saw that it was wave and ship focus, and I was like, okay, sign me up, please. Because that's what I'm good at. I do like it. It took me like an hour to beat the first time. I was very worried this morning because I woke up at like 9 and then immediately started playing, and I was like, oh god, this is not great. But now I'm feeling a lot better, so I think this is going to go well.
Alright, wow, best of luck. Moving over to the MLEM team. GD Red, how are you feeling about Draco Meteor?
Honestly, when I started playing it, it felt like harder than what it was supposed to be, but it got consistent really quick, and I managed to like beat it a couple times basically. So I think I'm gonna do good probably.
Okay, awesome. Best of luck. And finally, moving on to Jarmuż. How are you feeling about Draco Meteor? And also, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, it's pronounced Jarmuż.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, this level is really hard to learn for a level that is like top 1000, but it really isn't that difficult when you like play it for a while. Well, I did beat it like 42 times, but it doesn't really matter because my whole experience with the game is just being RNG. It's like I have RNG consistency with like every level in this game. So, I could do pretty well if I just lock in.
Alright, well, I wish you the best of luck. Hopefully you can perform how you want to, and yeah, I think if everyone can refresh the level, although GD Red has already done it, they have to play in a copy, that's fine, they have refreshed before making the copy, everyone's done it, so, we are ready to get started. 3, 2, 1, go. The 15-minute timer starts. So, Draco Meteor, this is an interesting level to be seeing played here. Also, what is going on with Patrick's screen?
Not entirely sure.
I want to give it a sec and see if it just decides to come back. We might have to reset this before people get on good attempts.
Well, seems to be an internet issue.
Assuming Patrick's recording, we can just I think we should probably just reset this before. Like,
yeah, we will reset.
Yeah. Can we undeafen everyone?
Yeah, undeafen.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, everybody.
Oh,
fuck!
There we go.
Wait, what happened?
Your screen share is not working right now, Patrick. So we gotta get that figured out, and then we can start again. Sorry, everyone. We have to restart.
The screen just now. We'll figure this out, and then we'll be back. Alright, we are back. Discord has decided to mute itself on here. That's fine. Okay, we're just gonna get straight into this. So, in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, and everyone's starting. We've managed to fix the problem with Patrick's screen share. That was unfortunate, but it happens. You know, these are all things that are not really in our control. It's just whatever. Draco Meteor. Very interesting level. It's actually named after a Pokemon move, which is kind of funny. I don't know why it's named that, but I guess I see kind of like a similar theme going. I don't know. But anyway, we should have some player information about the Void players.
Yes, give me 1 second here.
Oh, and it's also worth noting the qualifying percentage on this level is all the way up at 48%. It's a very high qualifying. So as it stands, we see Jarmuż. I think I'm trying my best. Pronouncing this at 62. Pronounce it. Oh my god, my brain isn't working. It's 68%. We also see GD Ride at the same percentage, actually. They're pretty much synced up with each other. It's just one's using full detail and the other one's not using full detail. We see Patrick currently with 99 points. We see Bonnie with 49, which means at the moment, Void is in the lead, but... Ooh, did they both die? Pretty much. We have very similar percentages there. We see MLEM now with 340 points.
I would like to get into the player info here, so we'll start with Void, starting with Patrick, Hardest of Wazareta. Obviously, most notably, he is the owner of the GD World Tournament. So it's definitely very interesting to see him as a player in this match.
For sure.
Moving on to Bonnie with a Hardest of -Dry, but has also beaten levels like Arcturus and Swy, so yeah, definitely a very, very good player. It looks like we have a completion from Bonnie.
Oh yeah, that's the first
completion of the round.
Which is giving... Well, actually, it's quite close still. Only 62-point difference, and also my cat is trolling. He's trying to get on my desk. So, yeah, 62-point difference, but it's also worth noting that GD Red is currently in the mid-70s right now. So that is actually the 2x multiplier. So they are just going to steal the lead back. This could be an interesting match. So, of course, as it stands, we see Void won the previous round on Sysmique Locked. So, generally, MLEM really needs to lock in here. And it does look like they're going to do that. And also, we see GD Red getting the first completion from MLEM. That's 250 points. Yep, that does put them back into the lead by 139 points. But we do see Bonnie already back into the 60s, trying to steal it back. Both players from MLEM pretty early on in the level right now, so it could take them a second to actually, you know, get the points to get back up there. And it looks like Bonnie could be trying to secure a completion here, which would be very beneficial for Void. My cat is now on my chair. Come on, what are you doing? Oh, and my music stopped right as Bonnie got another completion. There we go. We're back, we're back. We see Patrick on a really good attempt here as well in the 60s. So yeah, the 48% qualifying is really high for qualifying percentage. So this level's got to be pretty second half heavy.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's kind of what I was thinking.
This could be a completion for Patrick. He's currently at 85%, so he's in that 2x multiplier range. In the final ship, can he do it? And he does it. That's a completion on the board. And actually, it was a 3-point difference, but it is now just outside of a completion game thanks to that. We do see GD Red, though, already in the final ship. He gets a completion here. We're going to be back into a 3-point difference. And he does. But Bonnie is also in the late 60s. So, once again, Voider just going to try steal it back again. Yes, MLEM currently in the lead by 169 points, but again, Bonnie is currently at 83%, so this could be... This game looks like it's going to go kind of back and forward. Ooh, and Bonnie doesn't get a completion, meaning right now, it's actually only a 5-point difference between the two teams. This is a very close match. This is actually the closest match we've seen today, including the last stream. And actually, somebody did type in the chat earlier, Ice Team win, question mark? Yes, Ice Team did win in the previous round, in the previous match. We see Patrick into the 70s here, could be a 2x multiplier, which, again, they do need at the moment. They are in the lead, but they want to open up that gap. My cat is tweaking on my chair. What are you doing?
Void actually falling behind a bit here.
But it is worth keeping in mind that Patrick is he is in the last ship and about
Oh,
to
yeah,
get,
definitely.
yep, and he gets to completion, which means they're actually just going to steal the lead again. And it's still inside of a completion game, but you know what? Jarmuż is currently... He's in the last ship. He's just going to steal the lead back again. So this is literally just going back and forwards between the two teams on which one is in the lead. And there we are. That puts Lem back into the lead by 51 points. Yeah, by 51 points. This is a very, very close match so far. But there is 8 minutes remaining, which means anything could happen. You know, generally one of these teams could just start to pull away.
I would like to talk a bit about the players we have here from LEM, starting with GD Red with the hardest of the plunge. Also has beaten Drought, Copyable 2, and Reniment. And they wanted to mention their birthday was 3 days ago, so happy late birthday to GD Red. Moving on to Jarmuż, hardest of Saul Goodman, which took them 114,000 attempts. They've also beaten Network and Kuzareta, and they wanted to mention that they have the nickname of Polish Aeon Air because they constantly go for levels way outside of their skill range, as evidenced by the 114k on Saul Goodman.
That's funny. And also, the notable completion of Kuzareta when they have Saul Goodman and, what was it, Shuketsu you said?
I believe so. No, Network.
Network.
Yeah, Network and Kuzareta. Yep.
So right now we see Patrick at 88. We also see GD Red very late into the level. In fact, both MLEM players... Ooh, did they both just die at the same time? I mean, that's still really good for them, but that could have been huge if they both beat it. Because Patrick gets a completion, but it's not enough to put Void back into the lead quite yet. However, we do see Bonnie getting into the qualifying range here. Still going to need a better attempt than this to, you know, steal the lead back, but I think they could definitely do it here. Yeah, no, if the two MLEM players didn't die there, I think if they both got completions, it would have been, yeah, it just would have been huge for them. They would have opened up the gap quite a bit.
Bonnie at that 2x multiplier.
However, it is worth keeping in mind that the two MLEM players are also both in the qualifying range again. Ooh, but GD Red dies right as I say that. Patrick into the qualifying range here.
It does seem like the screen shares are...
Yeah, I know why that happened. It was just I was getting pinged in the thing. I didn't realize it was open in there.
Alright.
I don't know why it does it. The match, like the text chat just shows up like in the pop-out window.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, it looks like Jarmuż is about to get another completion. Oh, and I spoke too soon.
If that isn't
so
the definition
unfortunate.
of commentator's curse, I don't know what is.
It does give MLEM back the lead temporarily.
Yeah, this has been like an insanely close match. I mean, we've had moments where it's been 3 points apart or 5 points apart. Right now it's 52, but generally that's not a lot of points when we're seeing players score, you know, at least 884 points in this match, in this round alone.
That is for sure. Both GD Red and Bonnie at nearly the same percentage. Likely going to cancel out each other's attempts here, unless one of them dies.
We see Bonnie into the final ship.
Oh, and that's a death from GD Red.
And if Bonnie gets the completion here, they're gonna steal the... Yep, that's the lead back into Void's favor. But not by a lot of points, only 18 points. However, Patrick is also in the 80s, but Jarmuż is also in the mid-70s, so Patrick could get a completion here, and then it could just be stolen again. Patrick does get the completion. It's very important that this last ship doesn't get messed up here by Jarmuż. And there we go. He also gets the completion, meaning they're going to steal the lead back. Or do they even steal the lead back? I think it's actually now... No, they don't. They're 18 points away from stealing the lead. However, GD Red is in the qualifying range. We have 3 minutes 28 seconds remaining.
Actually, it does look like one of the MLEM players did have a bit of a lingering score from when we reset, so I'm removing that right now, just to get that out of there.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It should be corrected now, so it is still an insanely close match regardless.
It's only 13 points apart. Well, I've seen GD Red having some struggle getting back into the qualifying range. And in fact, both players from MLEM have been kind of struggling to get there again. And in the time that that's been happening, we see, oh, Patrick dying right at the end, but Bonnie getting the completion, which actually is going to open up the gap quite a bit here for Void. Void are going to be taking the lead by 421 points. Now that is pretty...
that they need to secure the win.
It's definitely going to be rough for MLEM. No players in the qualifying range quite yet, but we see Bonnie just about to get there.
At this point, I think one is going to have to rely on some mistakes from Void if they want a chance at catching up in these last 2 minutes.
We do see GD Red in the qualifying range, but we also do see Bonnie in the 70s right now, and also Patrick in the qualifying range as well.
GD Red has died. This is not looking good for MLEM.
We have just over a minute remaining. It does mean if Void wins this round, they will secure their spot in the quarterfinals, but we will play the final round out again, just for, you know, out of respect for the players who have put in the time and practice on Slay Moment, which will be the final level today. Which is actually going to be the first medium length level in the tournament. Patrick securing a completion. I think at this point, it's probably just secured for Void. We got 39 seconds remaining. Players get to finish their final attempt when the timer hits 0.
Yeah, I do not believe it is possible for one to catch up at this point. Well, actually, theoretically it is, but it's not
we also
not
see
likely
Bonnie
considering the fact that Bonnie is in
Yeah.
the 60s. Yeah.
But Jarmuż does get a completion. Not in this. This is instant elimination. It looks like Bonnie is about to get another completion. The timer did hit 0, so everybody is on their final attempts. So actually, Bonnie is done. That was Bonnie's final attempt. So Bonnie can stop playing. Everybody on pretty good
Very good
final
last
attempts
attempt
here.
here.
Alright, we see it looks like Patrick might be getting a completion here. If in fact GD Red and Patrick are GD Red dying in the last ship.
Very unfortunate.
So GD Red is done, Patrick getting a completion, Patrick is done, and Jarmuż just dies there, which means everybody is officially done. So that brings us to the end of this round. To announce the scores, we have MLEM with 3,127 points and Void with 3,831 points. Congratulations to Void winning this round, and this also means they've secured their spot in the quarterfinals. Let's talk to the players. So, Patrick, how are you feeling about your performance?
Well, I'm looking at the scores, and apparently I got MVP, which I wholeheartedly did not expect. I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. Actually pretty competitive, though. I did have like the match kind of running, and you know, I have a lot of respect for MLEM. You all, especially in like the first half, I was like, oh my god, this is really close. Like, then we did pull away, but yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm happy with how I did, and I think everybody else should be happy with how they did.
Awesome. Yeah, no, you're completely right. For a long time there, it was just constantly going back and forward between MLEM and Void. And then, yeah, you two just kind of pulled it away towards the end. Moving on to Bonnie, how do you feel about your performance?
I hate the 80s. I hate the 80s. I would have beaten it 3 times in a row if I didn't die to 87.
That's
Bonnie,
so
you want to know something funny? I never died at the 80s.
I hate you. Anyway, no. That went probably better than I thought it would. I'm actually so mad that I didn't get the 3 in a row though, because whatever, it's fine. That was good. I like that.
I got a
that
2
was
in
fine.
a row.
completely
I got a 2 in a row almost twice. I got
You got 2 in a row
184 as
twice,
well.
Did I? I don't remember. Can you look? Someone look.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, you got 2 in a row twice, Patrick.
I think I ended it on a 2 in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
I ended it on a completion at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Both of us did.
All right, moving over to the MLEM team. GD Red, how are you feeling about your performance today?
Honestly, in the first half of the match, I felt like I could do better, and in the second half, I just sucked. So, like, I think I did not do my best, but yeah.
That's unfortunate, but it is, you know, worth keeping in mind. It is harder to perform during the actual event. Ultimately, you scored 1,402 points. You did good, just maybe not quite the performance you were looking for. Okay, moving over to Jarmuż, I believe it is Jarmuż.
I'm actually really mad at myself because I just threw 3 completions away. Like, I just threw every attempt past 85 into the fucking bin, and also towards the end of the match I just started dying before the quals and a lot in the pre-job, so yeah, it could have been
that's
better,
very
but
unfortunate.
it wasn't that bad.
I mean, yeah, you scored 1,725 points. You know, that's you actually were not too far behind the Void players. You know, they scored 1,866 and 1,965. So ultimately, you did good. Again, similarly to GD Red, maybe just not quite the performance you were looking for. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this round. We're going to go to our 5-minute break screen. We'll be going into the final round, which will be a Soleil moment. So yeah, we'll be back. Okay, we are back. So, introducing the players for Slay Moment. Representing Void, we have Genesis and StarXV. Representing MLEM, we have KubixGD and Lemniks. So, Genesis, how are you feeling about Slay Moment in your practice?
Question, am I allowed to swear?
Go for it.
Fuck this level. This level's so fucking terrible, bro. Oh my god.
Okay, well that gives us a pretty good idea. Just generally, though, how confident are you with, actually getting good runs here?
Bro, I have no idea. This could go any direction.
That's completely fair. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and thankfully you can stop playing it after this.
True. Ego killing.
Alright, StarXV, how are you feeling about Slay Moment, and just generally, how do you feel like you're going to perform today?
I don't really hate this level. I think it's like decent. My practice, I like really balanced practicing this and 7 club step, which I'm trying to go for right now, but I did have to wake up like pretty early. It's 8:32 a.m. for me right now, and I had like 30 minutes of practice, so hopefully I do fine.
All right, well, best of luck, and also best of luck on 7th club step.
Yeah, thank
Moving
you.
over to the MLEM team, we have KubixGD. Same questions to you. How are you feeling about all of it?
Well, the level itself is pretty decent, but the level is full of inconsistencies and choke points, which is really unfortunate. And also the ending is very chokeable, especially the last robot clicks. But I don't even expect to get to the ending, because I am the worst player on my team, but overall, just this level isn't my skill set.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, hopefully you'll surprise yourself. We'll see what happens. Best of luck. And Lemniks, how are you feeling about all of this?
I feel about this level is just buffed Insane Demon. It's really choke point heavy and just bad. And inconsistent also. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, well, hopefully you can do well here. Best of luck. And I think we are ready to get started. So if everyone can refresh the level, hitting the update button. Did StarXV do it? I didn't catch that. There we go. Perfect. All right. We can get started in 3, 2, 1, go. And the 10-minute timer starts. Which, you might be thinking to yourself, 10-minute timer? Yes, this is the first medium-length level in the tournament, so this does mean they only get 10 minutes to play. I do see someone in the chat asking, how does this GD tournament work? So you see in the middle of the screen, we have a qualifying percent, and we have bonus multipliers. Basically, once they reach that qualifying percent, they'll start gaining points, and the points will go up with the percentage. So for example, in this case, if they get 32, they get 32 points. If they get, let's say, 38, they'll get 38 points. If they make it to 50, then they'll get 50 times 1.5. So that's basically how this works. They have a combined score, and whichever team by the end of the round has the most points will be taking the clan score. It's a best of 3. This is the final round of the day. So, as it stands, we already see both Void players getting points on the board. This is a very short level. I believe it's 56 seconds long. So, if they're consistent, which, by the way, we already see Genesis at 75%. So, this is an impressive start for
completion
Void.
right off the bat.
Yep, that is a completion. In fact, are you sure those points, like the 33, like, was that in this,
Yes, it was.
Okay.
That was in this.
Yeah, that's just how
This
short
was
this
just
level
very,
is.
very short. I would like to get through some of the player info very quickly, considering we don't have too much time for this match. We'll start with Genesis. They have a hardest of Shuketsu. They have also beaten Fragile and Promethean, so some pretty hard levels, some like stuff in the middle of the list.
Awesome.
And they wanted to mention that they are terminally addicted to dropping levels, as they have Oblivion in 2 runs, the Golden in 2 runs, Zodiac in almost 2 runs, Slaughterhouse in 4, and Tartarus in 3. Moving on to StarXV, they have a hardest of Kyuki, but they have also beaten EOD and Sinister Silence, and they are the highest ranked player on Pointer Crate in this match at 341. They wanted to mention that they, despite the fact that they live in the US, they do represent the Philippines, and they're the #2 player for the Philippines.
Gotcha. Okay, so very, very good player. Kyuki is a crazy hardest, and also got some very, very hard levels as just other completions. So as it stands at the moment, we see Void in the lead by 331 points, but it is worth keeping in mind that this level is so short that they can generally pick up points very, very quickly. However, we already see Genesis getting another completion, so that is another 250 points, opening up the gap really, really quickly here. This isn't looking too good from MLEM, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, you can pick up points very fast in a level like this. Just because of our limited time, we might as well jump straight into the information about our MLEM players.
Sure. So starting with Kubix, they have a hardest of Sync. They've also beaten other levels such as Thunder Zone and Tempered Steel. It's a little bit more they wanted me to mention here.
And also StarXV getting a completion on the board. This is looking very good for Void.
They also wanted to mention that they are going for Sank as a new hardest, which is funny considering their hardest is Sync, and that their dream hardest is Firework, and that they are very happy to play in this match because they are Lemniks is their favorite player, and they get to play with Lemniks. Speaking of Lemniks, they have a hardest of Atomic Cannon, MK2, and they've also beaten levels such as Rust and LD50, so definitely some pretty unique levels there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, so right now, Void is kind of showing... They're doing, you know, a bit of a number on MLEM on this one, to be honest. They have, like, 1,312 points already, and as I'm saying that, StarXV gets another completion, which is only going to open up the gap even more. The gap is now 1,109 points, and MLEM has 453 points at the moment. They're still performing really good, but ultimately, Void is just performing out of their minds.
Over 1,000 points in the lead at this point. That's 4 completions.
We already are nearly halfway through the match. This is such a change of pace.
Oh yeah, especially compared to that Idols round we had earlier in the day.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You can fit 3 of these rounds in the one Idols round that we had. So, as it stands, we see Genesis making it into the 2x multiplier. Could be another completion here for Void. That would be... How many completions does Void have already?
Void is currently at 4 completions, 2 from each player. Now. Yeah, that's 5 now. Star actually got 2 in a row earlier. That's very impressive.
Alright, so we do see StarXV back into the qualifying range here, getting more points on the board for Void.
They are just running away with this one. I actually think we're already approaching the point where it will be impossible for Lem to make a comeback.
We do see StarXV already in the ending here. This could be another completion. This would be StarXV's 3rd completion, meaning both players from Void will have 3 completions already. Yep, there we go.
And I do believe that actually solidifies the win for Void already. But we will see, of course, if one can pick up some completion.
We do see Lemniks here in a qualifying run as well. Oh, did Genesis die?
I believe so. That was a death at 88. Very unfortunate.
But it is in the 2x multiplier range, so it is still really good points. In fact, the gap between these two teams is nearly at 2,000 points. Oh,
and that is a completion from Lemniks.
The MLEM does walk away from this with a completion under their belt. So actually, they're closing... Okay, I say they're closing the gap. I mean they're, you know, straying away from that 2,000 gap.
Yeah.
Patrick
So
in the chat
Genesis.
saying Chris Paul hits a huge 3. I feel like that means something that I don't understand, but maybe you understand this.
I do not. I am not a sports guy.
Yeah, well, I'm from the UK, so I have a feeling that I have more reason to not understand that. If I
Yeah.
have to take a wild guess.
Anyways, Star currently at the 1.5 times multiplier, approaching the 2 times multiplier.
I think that was points on the board. Yep, that was points on the board from Lemniks. So actually, interestingly enough, on the red side of the screen, and talking on the red side of the screen, we see StarXV getting another completion here. We will have a clean sweep 2 times in a row today because Ice did get, they won all 3 of their rounds, and it looks like Void is going to be winning all 3 of their rounds today.
Yep.
Which makes sense because they are the higher, you know, they are the higher seeds here.
Definitely, but it's not like MLEM didn't put up a fight. They were very close for most of the second round today, like super close.
Yeah, it was unfortunate what happened in the second round because they were really keeping up with Void and overtaking them a lot, and then all of a sudden they just kind of started to struggle to get back to the qualifying range.
Yeah, only a minute left in this round.
Oh man. We do see StarXV in the ending again. Is this a platformer? No, this is just a classic level. That is another completion for StarXV. This has been a lot of completions in this round.
That is Star's second 2 in a row of the round. Possibly
Second
going for
2
3 in a row here.
In 10 minutes. And that doesn't even include the other completions. We do see Lemniks in the ending too, yeah. The gap has... Oh, they died in the ending.
It's very unfortunate.
We already have 15 seconds remaining. Players do get to finish their last attempt. We see Genesis getting a completion here. Will they be able to start? Yes, they do. 3, 2, 1. Ooh. And Lemniks is done. Lemniks is officially done. Oh, and KubixGD is done. Right now, we just have to wait for Genesis and StarXV to finish their attempt. So if the MLEM players... Yep, there we go.
And that is it for Genesis.
Dies, and then StarXV dies. So that is everybody done. That concludes our round. To announce these scores, MLEM with 1,629 points, and Void with a whopping 3,915 points. Absolutely crazy performance from Void there. And talking of which, Genesis, how did you feel about that? How do you feel about your performance?
I mean, I felt pretty good, you know. How many completions I got? I got 4. Damn it, bro. I was 2 off 100. Yeah, I overpracticed the hell out of this. I went from 48 completions yesterday to 98 today.
You have nearly 100 completions on this level. You gotta beat it another 2 times now, you know?
I will.
Alright, well that's insane.
I'm planning on it, but yeah, no, I'm satisfied. I beat Star, and that's all I wanted to do, so...
Alright, well,
he mocked me in completions, though. Okay, it's over.
Alright, talking of Star, how are you feeling about your performance?
I mean, that went pretty much as I expected and practiced for, so I'd say pretty good.
Awesome. I mean, 1,937 points, a combined score of 3,915. That is a lot. How many completions did you get in that? I think Box should have that.
Yeah, Sar did get 5 completions that round, and 2 in a row, so...
Yeah, that's crazy. Really, really good performance. Moving over to MLEM, Kubix, how are you feeling about your performance?
Okay, so like this did not feel like 10 minutes. That's the first thing. that went on really quickly, probably because of the stress as well. Another thing is that this went exactly like I expected. I did really terrible, but I still had fun, kind of. I expected to choke 40 to 60 a lot, because that's the hardest part in my opinion, and like overall it wasn't that bad. I'm happy I got, like, I didn't get below 500 points. And like overall I didn't manage to over practice the level that much because I didn't have enough time, and also I'm just not that good at the game to get as many completions as Genesis, for example. But overall I guess I did pretty okay.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, you did really well. The thing was that Void just like, they just performed like absolutely crazy. So like trying to compete with that, yeah, that's completely fair. Good job. Moving on to Lemniks, how do you feel about your performance?
To be honest, I just stressed too much. Especially, you can see this by my 50% death on Dash Orb, where I just stopped holding the orb. Yeah. Also, I choked the ending really dumb way.
Yeah, no, that's
Unlucky.
unfortunate. Well, you did manage to get, I believe, was there 2 completions or 1 completion? You definitely got a completion. One completion.
It was
you managed to get a
completion.
completion, right? Ultimately, that brings us to the end of our match today. So again, congratulations to Void getting the clean sweep that does secure their spot in the quarterfinals. They get a bit of a break from all of this. And yeah, that's it from us today. We had 2 streams pretty much back to back. And yeah, that's it. So thank you for joining. Again, the Discord is in the YouTube description. It's in the Twitch About Me. And yeah, until next weekend, goodbye.